हेलो एवरीवन, राइट नरेटिव के एक और बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग एपिसोड में आप सबका स्वागत है। हमारे साथ विजय जी जुड़ रहे हैं। थैंक यू सो मच सर, समय निकालने के लिए और हमारे साथ बात करने के लिए। आपने पहले भी राइट नरेटिव पे हमारे साथ बात करने के लिए समय निकाला है, तो आपका बहुत बहुत आभार। आज हम प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का जन्मदिन बना रहे हैं इस देश में, और कई लोग बहुत उत्सुक हैं ये जानने में कि प्रधानमंत्री का जो इंटरनेशनल आउटरीच है और जो इंटरनेशनल पॉपुलैरिटी है वो कहां से शुरू हुई और उसके पीछे ऐसी कौन सी कुछ मुख्य वजह हैं। एंड देयर इज नो बेटर पर्सन टू स्पीक अबाउट इट देन यू, because you handle the foreign affairs department of the Bharatiya Janata Party. So let's start with the start. Uh, be it the pre-CM days, CM days or the PM days, प्रधानमंत्री जी का एक अंतरराष्ट्रीय लेवल पर जो एक पॉपुलैरिटी मिलती है, जो यश मिलता है, आन मान सम्मान सब कुछ, वो उसके पीछे क्या मुख्य वजह है? लोग उन्हें पसंद करते हैं या फिर उनकी नीतियों को पसंद करते हैं, या फिर क्योंकि वो भारत से आते हैं और शायद भारत का बहुत कुछ पश्चिम में लेकर जाके दिखाते हैं? क्या मुख्य वजह है?
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल गुंजा, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मुझे यहाँ बुलाने के लिए। आपका जो प्रश्न है वो बहुत एकदम सटीक है। वो प्रधानमंत्री जी भारत के बाहर भी उतने ही पॉपुलर है जितने भारत में है, और ये सब जगह पता चलता है। परंतु उनकी पॉपुलैरिटी केवल उनके पर्सनैलिटी से ही कनेक्टेड है ऐसा नहीं, उनके काम से भी कनेक्टेड है। और उन्होंने विदेश का जो एक व्यापक ज्ञान प्राप्त किया है, इंसाइट प्राप्त की है, उससे भी कनेक्टेड। इवन बिफोर ही बिकेम सीएम, he has traveled outside India and gone to few countries। और आज भी लोग जो उनको उस समय मिले थे, मे बी 25-30 years ago, they still remember his curiosity, his अंडरस्टैंडिंग अबाउट द टेक्नोलॉजी एटसेट्रा। बाद में जब वो चीफ मिनिस्टर बने तब उन्होंने भी कई देशों का दौरा किया। वो चाइना गए थे, जापान गए थे, और उन्होंने वहाँ के भी बहुत अच्छा दुनिया को समझने का प्रयास किया था और अपने विजन से वहाँ के लोगों को आश्चर्यचकित किया था। आपको शायद पता होगा कि जब वो सुजुकी मोटर प्लांट्स में गए तो he was greeted by the chairman of the company, and he was almost treated like a prime minister even that time। और फिर वाइब्रेंट गुजरात के उन्होंने जो दौर शुरू किया, एक गुजरात को एक वर्ल्ड क्लास इन्वेस्टमेंट डेस्टिनेशन बनाने का जो प्रयास किया, उसकी वजह से भी उन्होंने कई सारे देशों के नेताओं के साथ इंटरेक्शन करके he tried to emphasize that Gujarat is the best destination in India for any foreign investment, and his efforts have brought a lot of success. The famous including the Tata Motors moving its car factory from Bengal to Gujarat is only one of the such examples, and that his all experience has helped him a lot when he became prime minister, so that he already had broad vision about what he needs to do in foreign policy. And it started on the very first day when prime minister invited the SAARC country heads during his first swearing in ceremony, and then ये दौर शुरू हुआ और अपनी विजन के हिसाब से, अपनी स्ट्रेटेजिक विजन के हिसाब से उन्होंने जहां जहां वो गए वहां वहां के लोगों को इम्प्रेस किया, वहां के नेताओं को इम्प्रेस किया, और आज भारत की विदेश नीति की जो सफलता है वो उसका ही कारण।
जी सर, आप जब कहते हैं कि गुजरात, वाइब्रेंट गुजरात के विषय में थोड़ा सा अगर आप हमें समझाएं। सर, बहुत कठिन काम होता है इन्वेस्टर्स इन्वेस्टर्स से मुलाकात हो जाती है, पिच दे देते हैं उनको, लेकिन क्योंकि हम लोग भी काम में कर चुके हैं पहले, बहुत मुश्किल होता है इन्वेस्टर का कॉन्फिडेंस इंस्पायर करना और एक्चुअली उसे एक डील में ट्रांसलेट करना. Why do people, what reason would an investor have to believe a chief minister of a country where perhaps the investor may have no other interest prior to meeting the CM also?
You are very right. The initial pitching is the easiest part of any investment, and signing MOU is also not very difficult, but actual execution and therefore is the most difficult part. And as a chief minister, because I also stayed in Gujarat in that period,
Yes.
I have seen it very closely. I can tell you that he has created the entire government machinery for the effortless, corruption-free, and efficient mechanism so that investor don't face any of these three issues. और एक बहुत क्लासिकल एग्जाम्पल है, वो एक मराठी मैगजीन में आया था उस समय कि a person who is hardcore socialist by ideology, in old-fashioned socialist, was trying to set up a IT park, IT BPO in Maharashtra, and he was facing tremendous problem. And he just put an email inquiry to Gujarat government, and within 24 hours, he got all his information, including the possible land where he can build his BPO. And after a week, coincidentally, then Chief Minister Modi ji was visiting Mumbai, so he got invitation to meet him. And Modi ji said, "You just come, rest everything I will take." And there are many such anecdotes. It's not a isolated case. Modi ji sent Mr. Ratan Tata SMS, please come to Gujarat, and rest is a history.
Yes.
So maybe a small industrialist businessman or a big one or a multinational. Gujarat became a prime destination not only because of the skilled manpower and also riot-free, tranquil, public, business-friendly environment, but also the entire government mechanism what Modi ji has created during his chief ministership to attract investment and bring it to the execution.
Yes.
And that is the success of that is the secret of his success.
So I mean, जब आप बाहर जाते हैं, और अब तो खैर 6 साल हो गए हैं प्रधानमंत्री जी को दिल्ली आए, बट पहले जब जाते थे तो कभी ऐसा हुआ है कि लोग कहेंगे कि भारत का पता नहीं लेकिन गुजरात में इन्वेस्ट करेंगे?
मीन्स ऐसे कुछ हो सकता है that because Gujarat was ahead of rest of India in terms of investment, and the credit largely goes to Modi ji. About Miss Gujarat is traditionally a business friendly state, there is no doubt about it.
Yes.
But the kind of paradigm shift that Modi ji has brought into governance of Gujarat has and should be credited for such a quantum jump in investments in Gujarat during his 10 years period.
So I was once upon a time doing a study on ease of doing business of states, और एक इंडियन इन्वेस्टर से ही मिले थे और उन्होंने कहा था कि गुजरात ब्यूरोक्रेसी इज अ प्लेजर टू डील विद. और अब आप दिल्ली में क्योंकि 6 साल से हैं, आप देख रहे हैं कि पूरे भारतवर्ष की ब्यूरोक्रेसी में और गुजरात की ब्यूरोक्रेसी में ऐसे क्या अंतर है जो परहैप्स पीएम मोदी जी ने इंटरवीन करे होंगे उस वक्त?
I won't be able to tell you the details because I have not dealt with the Delhi bureaucracy that much, and I will also not blame Delhi bureaucracy because there is a significant change here also in last 6-7 years. But Gujarat was seen as a destination because number one, the simplifying of the policies or business related policies, easy approval mechanism, and very rigorous monitoring of the progress of any project. I will say that these are three, four, or four key issues because of which Gujarat stood out uh, vis-a-vis other states.
Uh, so, but let's go back to the foreign outreach of the Prime Minister. What do you think drives the Prime Minister to actually go out and make a very hard pitch for his country? Is it purely investment, or is it the India that he's trying to bring to the global front?
As I understand, investment is definitely an important part, but it is not the only part.
Yes.
What he is trying to do is to basically pitch for New India and his vision of New India, where, for example, we always talked about made in India,
Yes.
but he has converted into make in India. And therefore, he is saying that there is a big difference
Yes.
because he is saying that, okay, you can manufacture your product, he was telling it to multinational, but do it in India, manufacture it in India, and then sell it all over the world. Rather than we becoming only the market, we also become a manufacturing hub. We don't only become the service providers, but we also become the technology provider. So these are the paradigm shifts which he has brought in the minds of Indian businessman, industrialist, entrepreneur, and he has successfully sold this paradigm shift to the global community. But investment is one part. Our strategic interests are definitely played an important role during his foreign trips, and the kind of strategic partnership now we have with, for example, United States of America under both administrations, under Obama administration and then under Mr. Trump's administration. With Europe, with Australia, with Japan, they have played a significant role in raising India's stature. His unique initiatives like International Solar Alliance, his the way he has propagated and popularized yoga because due to International Yoga Day. So basically entrusting India's soft power, and more equally important is the civilizational connect of India throughout the world, may it be Mongolia, may it be Nepal, may it be Sri Lanka, may it be Israel, and maybe it be South America. All that has helped a lot. And then on the top of it, Indian diaspora, which was in past almost taken for granted, he has changed that perception, and he tried to bring Indian diaspora as a part of his development agenda. And all these cumulatively are the factors for his grand successes in India's foreign policy.
राइट सर. सर आपने दो महत्वपूर्ण बातें करी. एक तो पैराडाइम शिफ्ट जो हमने देखा है पीएम मोदी की लीडरशिप के एजेस में, और दूसरा चीज आपने डायस्पोरा की बात करी. लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द पैराडाइम शिफ्ट फर्स्ट. How has what is the shift that India has seen in the past 6 years when it comes to global perception? And it will be really nice अगर आप कुछ ऐसे उदाहरण दे सकें उन देशों के जहां पर शायद हमारा डायस्पोरा भी उतना अधिक नहीं हो, लेकिन वहां पे भी हमारा जो संबंध है अब बहुत घनिष्ठ हो चुके हैं, primarily because of the outreach that we've initiated.
See, I will not separate this into the countries with diaspora, without diaspora, but I will give how the paradigm shift has happened.
Yes.
For example, there were notions in the past administrations that if we do certain things in a certain way, some of our friendly countries will be disturbed or they will not be happy, and therefore our traditional alliances will be damaged. And there are classical examples like our relations with Gulf countries vis-a-vis Israel. There was a common notion that if we build a strong relationship with Israel, it will hurt our traditional allies in the Gulf region. But what Prime Minister has done is that he has built a very strong relations with all the Gulf countries without an exception. He visited almost all of them. Uh, he has received a very prestigious award from countries like USA and Saudi Arabia. And at the same time, he has built a very strong relationship with Israel. Uh, and he was, in fact, the first prime minister to visit Israel, first Indian prime minister to visit Israel. And I will tell you another related story. Again, Israel was always hyphenated with the issue of Palestine. And almost every head of the country who visit Israel tried to also balance it out by the visit to Palestine. But Indian Prime Minister Modi ji was maybe the first major political leader, major head of the country who has gone to Israel but not visited Palestine, and then separately visited Palestine to show the solidarity with them. That means we will deal with Israel separately, and all our relations doesn't have to be mixed with the issue of Palestine. At the same time, we supported the cause of Palestine. So we have very heftily dehyphenated his relationship. So these are some of the things very uniquely Prime Minister has done, and there is no parallel in the history of India.
राइट और मतलब जब हम अभी recent events की बात करते हैं तो हाउडी मोदी is something that we cannot miss, or because of the kind of euphoria that event created. What we saw on the screen was perhaps the euphoria bit of it, but perhaps what you sensed out there was something more deeper. What was it?
See, first of all, of course, it was a historic event for several reasons. It's not that often the US president goes on the dais along with the foreign head of a country in front of such a large audience. It never happened in the history of US also. So in that respect, it was a historic event. But it was not the first time when the head of the host country has accompanied Prime Minister on the diaspora. Bigger than the Howdy Modi, it was a Wembley event in London where then British Prime Minister Mr. David Cameron came on that platform. And then from Kenya, in Israel, Mr. Netanyahu came along with them. So there are many Canada. So there are many such examples. But because it was US, such a the most powerful country in the world, its head of the state coming along with Indian Prime Minister is given a very big message, not only to the Indian American diaspora, which is very prominent, prosperous, powerful in US, but also to the world. And there lies the importance of Howdy.
Sir, but even in, I mean, we've seen this that in the past 6 years, the diaspora is becoming consistently strong across countries, be it Australia, be it US, be it UK. We've seen that diaspora is getting a voice of its own in the countries where it is, and it's no more just a migrant population. Do you think it's also because of the kind of strength and policies that India is asserting in the past 6 years on the global platform?
See, there are two aspects of it. First is the nature of Indian diaspora itself, that in most of the countries, I'm not saying in every country, in most of the countries, Indian diaspora is well educated and they therefore are respected by the native population. They are also law-abiding people in that citizens of that or citizens or residents of that country. And they also contribute to the local economy and local community also. And therefore, their stature is always seen with respect by the locals. So these are some inherent strengths of Indian diaspora. What has changed after Prime Minister Modi took over is that we have leveraged these strengths of Indian diaspora. In past, we were almost taken for granted uh, only for some ceremonial celebrations, but we never tried to seriously involve them and make them a true participant in India's development agenda. And that is what Prime Minister Modi ji has precisely tried to do it with good success. And that is the reason why his interactions with diaspora are differentiated from the past uh, prime ministers or in the past events.
इट्स इंटरेस्टिंग दैट यू मेंशन कि हमारा जो डायस्पोरा का जो वे है, भारत मतलब उनको जिस तरीके से परसीव किया जाता है उनकी कंट्री में, वो ऑफ कोर्स इज आल्सो बिगिनिंग टू चेंज. इज द डायस्पोरा's impression about India also changing?
Yes, of course. Indian diaspora is now looking towards India in a different way than in the past. And there are not only Prime Minister's interactions have definitely helped them, but several systemic changes what we have carried out in last 6 years have also helped a lot to change this perception. For simply our functioning of our embassies and consulates has been a drastic. There has been a drastic change in the functioning of our embassies. They have become more efficient. They have become quick in action. They have become more humane, and they have become more interactive and engaged with the diaspora in solving the problem, helping them in the needs, helping them in the hour of crisis, and also participating in their celebrations. We have started giving e-visas to more than 100 countries. That has helped a lot for people who would like to come to India. So OCI card, there were a lot of confusion between two types of cards, some PIO and OCI cards. So Prime Minister Modi ji has merged both the cards, and because of OCI cards, the entry of people of Indian origin to India has become much easier. They don't need visa, and they don't. Everyone doesn't have to be, for example, of Indian origin. Even if you are American, but if your spouse is of Indian origin, you will still get OCI card. So these kind of flexibility is what we have shown has generated enormous goodwill among the diaspora. And on the other side, even in India, people's ease of going abroad, like ease of doing business, ease of going abroad, has been significantly changed in a positive way. For example, the number of passport seva kendras we have opened, I guess now there are more than 200 passport seva kendras, which was not even 50 when Prime Minister Modi came to India. And now there is a plan to have passport seva kendra in every district of India. So therefore, ease of getting passport, ease of immigration, all that has really helped India's perspective also towards the foreign traveling abroad and interacting with them. So it's a both way that has helped to create a new era between India and the rest of the world.
Yes, sir. And speaking about the new era, ऑफ कोर्स डायस्पोरा में प्रधानमंत्री की बहुत पॉपुलैरिटी है, लेकिन वहां के लोकल्स जो हैं वो किस तरीके से देखते हैं हमारे प्रधानमंत्री को?
I think there is an enormous curiosity and awareness about what's happening in India right now, and largely the credit goes to the personality of Prime Minister. Of course, India's development, India's pride, the way it is tackling with their adversaries, India's economic progress is also helping. But first level of curiosity is about the leader who is leading the country. And that, in that respect, Prime Minister has a very high level of curiosity. And I can give you many personal examples, but I will narrate only one here. That I was in Nairobi airport early morning, and I was just doing some shopping. I was catching a flight, so doing some shopping, and the person who was on the counter, a black young man, he asked me from which country you are, and I said I'm from India. So as soon as I said India, so he said, "Oh, Mr. Modi." So it is almost an instant connection. So I said, "Yes, we have Prime Minister, Mr. Modi." And then he said, what is very important as a common man, he said, "Man, you don't know, but I think the world needs 5-6 Modis to change itself." So he has such a high expectation for the work of Mr. Modi and such a high regard for the work that has been. And then, as a curiosity, to raise his curiosity, I told him that, "Do you know Mr. Modi is going to visit Nairobi next month?" He said, No, I don't know." And then he said, "I will just take a day off to take his picture, even maybe from a distance." So that is the kind of curiosity is there in the minds of foreigners also, and we see this all over during Howdy Modi. In last 3-4 days before Howdy Modi, anyone you sit in the cab and slightly looking as Indian, the cab driver would ask us that, "Oh, have you come for Howdy Modi?" And then he will say a couple of good sentences about India and what. So this is the kind of image India and about Mr. Modi is there among the population across the globe.
वाह, तो मतलब ऑलमोस्ट एक उत्सव बन जाता है जब प्रधानमंत्री किसी देश में
local for community also.
और सर एक इसी से एक उत्सुकता उठती है कि प्रधानमंत्री जब भी हमारे देश में से बाहर पहले भी जाते रहे हैं, और इनफैक्ट कुछ प्रधानमंत्री तो ऐसे भी रहे हैं जो बाहर विदेश में पढ़े हैं, विदेश में उन्होंने बहुत अधिक समय भी बिताया है, लेकिन इस तरीके का कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं इंस्पायर किया कभी। मतलब why did it take a Prime Minister Narendra Modi who came from Gujarat to get India the global position it deserved?
See, leadership matters a lot, and leadership matters on two things: the vision of the leader and the actions which support or which actually tries to bring that vision into a reality. And on both his count, Prime Minister Modi has scored much above as compared to his predecessors, and he also has tremendous support and backing of Indian people, and that also matters when someone travels abroad. If they see him as a weak person, a leader as a weak person, or if someone who is dependent on someone else for the policy, which was the very typical case in the previous regime before Prime Minister Modi took over, then they will not take him seriously, because they also know that he is not a person who is really in charge of the situation and who is ready to take decision. But here is the person in form of Prime Minister Modi, that everyone knows that he is in charge, he is leading the country from the front, and he is decisive, and which is also backed by several policy changes in India. And it was not only a talk, but it was literally walk the talk kind of situation. And therefore, his respect has gone up. His words are being taken very seriously to the world audience. And that is the success. That is the, again, secret of his success in his foreign policy.
Right. Today, the world is undergoing a pandemic, and India has come out with a strength of its own. मतलब be it HCQ tablets हो, एक consistent vaccine trials हो, या फिर प्राइम मिनिस्टर का देश के साथ constant interaction हो, गरीबों के लिए policies हो, we've ensured that क्योंकि प्रधानमंत्री ने अपनी एक स्पीच में भी कहा था कि सबको लगता था कि भारत विश्व के लिए समस्या बन जाएगा जब कोरोना आएगा, पर ऐसा हुआ नहीं। आज किस तरीके से, क्योंकि आपने गुजरात में भी समय बिताया है, जब कच्छ का भूकंप आया था तब एक क्राइसिस मैनेजर के रूप में प्रधानमंत्री उभर के आए थे उस समय, और आज जब विश्व पर संकट आया है तो भी हम काफी हद तक अपनी छवि से, अपनी क्षमता से पूरे विश्व की सहायता भी कर रहे हैं और अपना घर भी संभाल रहे हैं। क्या सिमिलैरिटीज हैं? व्हाट डज इट टेक फॉर पीएम टू बी अ क्राइसिस मैनेजर? क्या क्या क्वालिटीज हैं?
I think, as I have seen during the rehabilitation process of Kutch earthquake, Modi ji was not chief minister at the time of earthquake.
Yes.
He came little late, and he was on his platter was not something served sweets, but also a lot of crisis in form of rehabilitation of literally thousands of people or lakhs of people. What is the characteristics of his leadership which mattered then and which have mattered now? Is that a very comprehensive planning, taking all the aspects of the issue into consideration, very detailed planning, and very detailed execution plan, and also very minute monitoring. If we miss any of these steps, then whatever grand plan you have, the success may not be that significant, because, and of course, then you have to create the ecosystem and the infrastructure which will support this plan, remove the bureaucratic hurdles, bring out the regulations which are required for the success. And all this, I have seen it during Gujarat earthquake, and now we are seeing it, all of us, in this pandemic also. And while doing all this, we should not be selfish, and we should also help the global community. That was another aspect which has come out during the pandemic, which is so typical of India, Indian civilization, of our culture, our sanskars, and the way we have supported medicines by giving medicines to more than 100 countries. In many countries, in fact, free of charge. We have given ventilators to the needy countries like Nepal, Maldives. We have even given food grains free of cost to few countries. And we kept a dialogue with these countries open, even though no one could travel. Prime Minister himself has interacted with more than 60, 70 heads of the countries, and he's continuously doing it. On the top, our External Affairs Minister, Dr. Jaishankar, must have interacted with more than 100 countries. His junior, Dr. Sri Muralidharanji, has also interacted with several countries. So we didn't allow pandemic to stop communication, and also plan for the future of a post-pandemic world. And the recent agreement with Japan, which was, unfortunately, Mr. Abe is leaving. Even before leaving, it was his last call with Prime Minister Modi. And in that also, we have signed some significant agreements. So essentially, now with the help of technology, physical meetings, of course, has its own importance. But we should, what Prime Minister has shown, that even without physical meetings, the diplomacy can go on, and the nation's progress can also be thought about in the post-pandemic.
Right. And with this, we come to the end of this interview. And before I let you go, there's one question that I would want to ask you. So when we talk about international forums, diplomacy, external affairs, foreign policy, कहीं ना कहीं ये बहुत बड़े बड़े शब्द होते हैं, और मतलब जब हम बड़े हो रहे थे तब हम लोग को ये इम्प्रेशन था कि ये तो बहुत डिफिकल्ट है, और इसके लिए अनलेस एंड अनटिल यू डोंट गो टू अ फॉरेन यूनिवर्सिटी, आप अफ्लुएंट नहीं हो, बहुत आप फ्लुएंट नहीं हो अंग्रेजी में और अन्य भाषाओं में, आप एलीट नहीं हो, आप नहीं डील कर सकते हो। बट प्रधानमंत्री ने शायद वो सारे मिथ्स ब्रेक कर दिए, बिकॉज एंड हिज शेयर रिलेशनशिप, जब हम देखते हैं वो लीडर्स के साथ इंटरेक्ट करते हैं, इवन इज बॉडी लैंग्वेज, मतलब जिस तरीके से वो हाथ मिलाते हैं, बड़े ही इज ऑलवेज एट ईज, लगता है वो किसी मित्र से मिल रहे हैं। कैन यू डिकोड दिस फॉर अस इफ इट्स पॉसिबल?
Kunja, it's a very important question. I'll tell you two things. One is that partly you are right that for India, foreign policy is confined to specialists, and partly it is
Yes.
required also because the complexities of any foreign policy may or may not be that easily understood by the commoners. But it should never remain a very elitist concept. What Prime Minister has done is that he has tightly integrated India's domestic policies with the foreign policy. For example, India's big initiative, like it's not only today's Atmanirbhar Bharat, but also the small initiative, it's not small, but other initiatives like Digital India, clean water. These are essentially the domestic agendas, but he made it a part of foreign policy agenda. Even the Prime Minister's social agenda like Swachh Bharat, toilet building, so solar energy. So many countries have come forward to give their best technologies of waste treatment, water treatment, etc. To India and try to complement India's effort. And this has never happened before, because there were always foreign policy and domestic policy, they were kind of a glass wall between two. So, and that has helped us a lot to, I would say, humanize foreign policy issues and make them connected with the common man. And therefore, what Indian people, a person on the street, has realized that because of Prime Minister's effort, it is not only the stature of India is going up, which they could visibly see on the TV screens and the newspapers, but they could also see that all his efforts are bringing fruit to the man on the street. And that is the real success of Prime Minister Modi, I would say, that the common man on the street has started feeling that India's foreign policy is not the elitist. It is not only for the few people who know English and can wear a suit and tie, but also it is for the benefit of the poor and downtrodden in this country. And I think this is for this reason Prime Minister should be credited.
Yes, and thank you so much, Vijay sir. आपने हमारे लिए समय निकाला, and I hope you are doing well and your health is fine in these times of pandemic. Please stay safe and take care. And thank you so much, sir, for speaking with us.
Thank you, Gunja, for all your interacting with you is always a pleasure.
Namaste. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.